Good morning, gang. Happy Thursday morning. Okay, I hope it's not just me out there. I hope that there's a whole lot of people that feel the same way I do. Whether you do, whether you don't, okay, I'm just saying what I hope. There seems to be a whole lot of overly optimistic people out there that think Trump's got next Tuesday in the bag. I'm not one of them, okay? I look at all these polls and go, okay, Trump's leading by half a point, 0.8 of a point, 1 point. I mean, that's nothing, guys. That's slim. Now, granted, you go back to 2020 and Biden was winning states by 10,000 votes or whatever. Sure, he won, but look what the last 4 years brought us. Not his policies or anything. The whole comments about the facts, about cheating, about suitcases full of ballots at 2 o'clock in the morning, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay? Nobody trusted the victory. That's a problem. And it's really gotten worse this go around. Give you one. I told you about the Miami-Dade, Florida guy who found a box and a bag of ballots on the street and took him to Miami PD yesterday. Well, they investigated, they found out who it was, like they should have, and they fired the guy. He didn't lock the back of the truck and stuff fell out. Oops. There was another story yesterday about a guy who went to some hotel for his monthly chess club meeting and walked back to the conference room, and there was no chess club set up, but there was a whole bunch of voting machines and everything back there. And the room was wide open. And the guy goes up to the desk, he says, "Oh, I'm here for the chess club." He goes, "Did you guys move it?" He goes, "No, it's canceled today. We'll do it after the election." He goes, "Oh, were we supposed to be in the room back there with all the voting machines?" The guy at the hotel kind of looked at him. He goes, "Yeah, it's completely unlocked. Anybody can get into that." And of course, the hotel desk clerk freaked out. "What do you mean it's unlocked?" "Wide open." Okay. "Here's a bunch of voting machines that anybody could just walk in and do whatever they want to." Okay. You had all the comments yesterday about Dominion voting machines being corrupt across the country. Okay, yeah, but we're supposed to trust the machines because they were so accurate last time. They're the most secure election ever. My ass. Okay, so we get all those issues. Then you take a look at a Pew Research poll that came out. And again, it's a poll. And I keep telling people, do not trust these things. They contacted 876 veterans to see who they were going to vote for. I wasn't one of them. Okay? And of those 876, 61% of them said they were going to vote for Trump. 37% said they were going to vote for Harris. And I looked at this and I'm like, these are vets. These are people I potentially served with. They must have forgotten that oath we took, to uphold the Constitution and protect this country from all enemies, foreign and domestic. How a veteran, I don't care when you served, I don't care how DEI you were, could possibly support a candidate that openly wants to turn this country into a communist country. Don't say she doesn't. She wants price controls on everything. She wants government control of businesses. That's communism, okay? She wants equity. That's communism. Who kicked people out of the military for not putting poison in their arm, who voted down a pay raise for the military, who took doctors out of VA hospitals and sent them instead to treat illegal migrants. How a veteran can vote for somebody that wants to do or has done those things, I have no idea. Okay. But it is what it is. Now, we continue on to polls. This is another story. This came out from the Harris poll. No relation to Kamala Harris, okay? Get this. In polling, in regular conversation, 48% of Gen Z, 38% of millennials, 17% of Gen Xers, and 6% of boomers have reported that they have lied to a pollster, a family member, a friend, to who they're going to vote for. Nearly half of Gen Z. Just saying, okay? Now, we don't know which way that goes. Maybe because Gen Z is like, oh my God, we're college campuses. Everybody supports Kamala Harris. I'm going to just say I am, even though I'm going to pull the lever for Trump. Maybe that's true. Maybe it's your conservative family and it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to vote for Trump. And then they go in and pull the handle for Harris. We don't know. But this tells me that don't trust the polls. Don't trust any of the information that's coming out there. And don't expect necessarily the results we hope for come Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, sometime next week, hopefully before December. Okay. It's ugly no matter how you slice it. And as I've said many times, it doesn't matter what happens next Tuesday. This country is going to be violent because at this point, with all the shenanigans that have come out every day about voter irregularities, voter suppression, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, half the country is not going to support, not going to acknowledge the results of the election. That's just where we are. We can go back 2 years and go back to me talking about balkanization. This is where we're going. We talk about how violent people are going to be, right? And you hear a lot of people, I told you the other day, getting ready for violence. Okay? I told you about Democrats organizing themselves to, oh, we're going to stop the violence. No, you're organizing yourself to go be violent. That's what it is. Okay? You're not, trust me, a bunch of unarmed, civilian-clothed people are not going to stop a violent gang. Now, they're not going to listen to your kumbaya crap. Just not going to happen. I don't care if they're on the same side. Oh, we just need to accept Kamala Harris lost. Put your weapons down. They're like, hell no, I'm burning down that police station. I'm breaking windows in that courthouse, whatever. I'm going through to steal myself a new pair of Nikes. That's just what it's going to be. There was a story yesterday. I want to give you this. This is how bad it's gotten. And we've seen many stories like this. 2 women on a flight from Great Britain to Texas. One woman had a MAGA hat on in the airport in Great Britain. Another lady got in her face, berated her, and told her to take the hat off. The lady said, no, I'm not taking it off. So this woman punched the other woman, the woman wearing the hat, in an airport. Okay? Somehow, some way, after the violent confrontation, they were still allowed to board the plane. And the airline didn't have the common sense to make sure that they were seated far away from each other. Unfortunately, they had seats that were relatively close. So the screaming and yelling continued until the captain called the police and had both women taken off the plane. This is it. This woman was physically assaulted for wearing a MAGA hat. How many stories have you seen about people ripping up signs? I saw at least 3 videos yesterday of people caught on tape ripping up Trump signs and replacing them with Harris signs. I saw an argument between the Trump campaign and the Allentown mayor, where the Allentown, Pennsylvania mayor all of a sudden at the 11th hour was trying to pull the permits from a Trump rally, and it wound up an argument right in the middle of the street. Obviously, that didn't turn violent. But this is what's coming. If they can't win, they're going to cheat. When they don't win, do not expect them to go peacefully into that good night. It's not going to happen. After Tuesday, the Biden-Harris administration has 2.5 months to raise hell on this country. And they're going to. They're going to put every poison pill they can, if stuff they already haven't done, into the country to destroy the economy, to raise taxes, to do what they can to instill communism. So Trump has no choice, if and when he wins, to spend the first God knows how many months of his administration going through all the red tape to undo the disastrous Biden-Harris policies. And then, of course, what they're going to do is they're going to blame Trump for all the fallout that comes from these policies. Oh, look, you should have elected us. Look what happened to inflation just a month into Trump's administration, or pick something. Look what happened to the stock market, or look what happened to gas prices. Pick something. Because there are enough low IQ voters out there, in other words, Democrats, who think that Inauguration Day is like a light switch. Like everything that happened on January 19th was because of Joe Biden, but everything that happened on January 21st was because of whoever, Donald Trump. It doesn't work that way. You know, there's still continuity, if you will. They're not smart enough to figure that out. What I'm telling you is the cheat is already on. Hell, you saw what happened. It hit the news yesterday. Some TV station, ABC station in Pennsylvania, posted the chyron underneath the, I think it was a Formula One race or something like that, that Kamala Harris won Pennsylvania. 100% of the vote was in, and she won by 5 points. Oh, we were just testing it. Okay, maybe you were. But please explain to me why every time there's a test of one of those things, when you think about that, you know, every time there's one of these fake ones that comes across and we're just testing it. Every time the winner is the Democrat. Go back and look, okay? They're just getting ready. You know, we've all seen the little chart, you know, the curve and the doink, you know. This one's going to be a whole lot different. It's going to be like a flat line and a curve. But at the bottom of Kamala Harris is going to be like, oh, at 2 o'clock in the morning, we found 70 million votes. Too big to rig. Don't think that's going to stop them, okay? We talked yesterday about Democrat operatives impersonating poll workers, okay? Haven't heard anything about those people being arrested yet, okay? Because that's a felony too. But we'll see. But fortunately, this time around, we don't have Ronna McDaniel, Ronna Romney, running the RNC going, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You know, Lara Trump, who's running it this time around, is on it. You know, they found a story yesterday about ballots being overcounted or what. I think this was in Michigan, where it's like some guy's ballot was counted 29 times and they caught wind of it. And within hours of that going public, they had already got into investigation mode, found it, and got it corrected. Because Ronna McDaniel would have said, don't worry about it. I've got to go get a mani-pedi. Okay, that was the deal. You know, they're gonna try. They're trying it with early voting. They're gonna try it on election day. They're gonna do it when they count the votes. They're gonna cheat. It's the only chance they have. We have to be vigilant. If you see anything out of the ordinary, even if you just think it is, film it. Send it to somebody. Send it to Elon Musk. There's a bunch of people on social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube, who are collecting this information and have the contacts to get it to the right people. I'm not one of them. Don't send it to me. I don't have any contacts in the Trump organization. I'm not riding on the back of a garbage truck with Vivek Ramaswamy. Okay. You know, haven't been invited to do anything like that. We have to be the ones to police this, as we've talked about here on this channel many times. I encouraged everybody to go be poll workers if you had the time to do it, so you can watch to make sure the steal doesn't happen in your area. But even if we didn't, if you see something going on where something doesn't look right, take videos of it. You may be right. It may be completely wrong. Even that story I told you about the guy who showed up in Pennsylvania dressed in what looked like a postal worker's uniform with Rhode Island plates in Pennsylvania. Not that that's not possible. Okay. The courthouse said, oh, well, yes, he's actually the postmaster. Until somebody posted a picture of the postmaster and a picture of the guy. And it was like, they don't look anything alike. You know, it's like all of a sudden, here in a year and a half, this guy aged 15 years. You know, interesting. Not possible, not impossible, okay? Guy could have made some really bad life choices, but people need to pay attention to this. We need to be watching what's going on. If we want to save this country, if we don't want to be the USSA, we need to do our part. I'm hoping everybody voted. I'm hoping you've talked to everybody in your family who's like, it's not worth my time. Let me drag your ass over there. Maybe you got lucky and converted one of your family friends or whatever who was uninformed and a Kamala Harris voter and informed them and got them to change their mind. Maybe you took one of your kids or your grandkids for their first time to vote ever. Hopefully you did something. But what I'm saying, don't believe these polls. You know, if an eighth to a half of the people, depending on generation, are lying to the polls, what's the point of even listening to them if they ain't true? The only poll that matters is the one next Tuesday. And Lord willing, we'll save this country. Pinball out.